Kia ora koutou and welcome back to Frogs on Friday. I'm Shannon Barlow, Managing Director for Frog Recruitment. Today in our Frogs in the News section, we'll look at some of the predicted trends for the employment market over 2022. Now, a little disclaimer, these trends were predicted back in December and already a lot has changed, so we'll see how those stand up. We'll also feature some of the jobs that we're recruiting, and I'll be joined by Senior Consultant Kirsty Henegan, who'll run through some tips for making your CV stand out, including what to do about any gaps in employment due to COVID. So let's kick off with Frogs in the News. Okay, so some of the key predictions, and they weren't all from me, for employment trends. One of the main one was burnout. Now, we know that that's had a huge factor as we try to keep things going throughout all the disruptions that the pandemic has brought. And that's definitely going to be something that is still on the horizon and needs to be looked at both for employers and for you individually, and making sure that you look after your own well-being as well. I think a key one, and particularly as we look at changes to migration and comparisons with other countries, is unfortunately the return of the brain drain. So one of the factors that we're looking at is it's likely that all those young New Zealanders who missed out on their opportunity to do the big OE will be champing at the bit to be able to get off overseas. So it means that once it's easy to do so, we're likely to lose a lot of talent. With both of those factors, so with burnout, with losing employees to businesses overseas, employers are really putting their best foot forward in terms of what they're doing to try to attract and retain staff. So some of the obvious things that we started to see already were some salary increases, but there's also non-financial benefits. So really putting that focus on a sense of community and building a strong, positive culture within your organization will be really important to attract you. Going into that as well, well-being as well will continue to be something that we need to take care of. And we're also seeing things like upgrades to the office environment, reshuffling of staff to be able to, I guess, give that reason for people to come back into work, back into the office environment, but also to either stick with your company or to attract new talent into there. Along with that, we're likely to see things like passion projects in people's work. So as well as their regular job, to be able to give them those avenues to work across different parts of the business or different projects that they can really get excited about. So those are some of the key things there, but it's definitely a moving target as things change throughout the year. So watch this space, and we're likely to see more changes and things come through in the employment market. So if we move on now to our jobs section, and this week we'll be featuring some of our business support roles in Auckland. So for our Hot Jobs Friday, first up we have an office manager role. So this is based in Auckland, offering between 70 to 75k within the banking sector. If we move along to the next one there, so executive coordinator. Again, so we're looking, again, based in Auckland. This one is a temporary position, so looking at $35 per hour and supporting the CEO. And the last one there, so it's a blend of customer service and sales advice this position. So based in the CBD here, again, offering a good salary of 50 to 55K, working with a global brand. And we have a video of our last role for business support, so an executive assistant position.
Hi there, it's Thomas from Frog Recruitment. We're currently recruiting for a few different executive assistant roles here in Auckland and are on the lookout for people to work with us on a temporary basis, starting as soon as possible. Each role is slightly different, but is paying between $40 to $45 an hour, assisting with things such as board minutes, proofreading documents, calendar, diary, and inbox management. If you are available and looking for temporary work, please do get in touch. My details are below. We look forward to hearing from you.
Okay, so now let's move over to Kirsty. So Kirsty, I understand you're going to give us some tips on writing resumes or CVs, and it's a little bit different this time around than some of the things you have to look out for post-COVID.
Yeah, definitely. So I think since Omicron, the lovely COVID, entered New Zealand, it's likely that our Great Resignation will reach our shores later on in the year. So we were predicting that we'd hit that record of resignations earlier on, but we've not quite seen it just yet. But we did run a poll. I'm just going to get my little notes up here around the poll. So we did run a poll ourselves, and it revealed that 40% of people are looking to change jobs or make those career changes in the next couple of months. And if you are looking, then obviously we want to have a look at what we can put into our CV at the moment. So I think the first thing first is, if you've got gaps within your CV and your employment history, then just be transparent about it. We all know that businesses were hit quite hard last year. So in terms of people needing a break or that burnout and they needed to just take some time off for the mental health, there's literally no stigmas attached to any of these things. So just being quite transparent and honest, because if you're trying to hide something, it definitely comes out when you're meeting with recruiters or hiring managers. So you may as well just mention it up front. The next thing is transferable skills. So we're definitely seeing it, because we're in such a candidate short market at the moment, that businesses and hiring managers are starting to have to look at transferable skills rather than that job title. So instead of looking for an executive assistant, how can we change this role and bring someone in that maybe didn't have that EA title a year ago? So it's really good to be able to highlight those skills that you've got. So being able to put things like your organizational skills or your project management skills, and actually not just writing those as project management, but giving a very, very brief example of what that looks like, because it's going to be able to sell you a little bit more to an employer, and they can see up front what you can actually bring to that role, especially if you're looking to move out of a position into a completely different career change. The other thing around it is tech savviness. So we've all gone to working from home, and tech is a nightmare. I'm sure we've seen Peter on the show talking about tech across the business as well. But in terms of our tech skills, it's really important that you are quite agile and being able to pick up these new systems and new skills. So it's really desirable to companies to be able to see what systems you're actually comfortable with coming into the business, and what they're going to be able to just basically get you in, drop you in, and you can pick it up, and then what they're going to need to train you on. So it's really important that they know that you can pick up these systems, because obviously with working from home, we're all online. So it's really important that we are able to pick those up and be quite agile and adaptive in the workplace.
Absolutely. And as I was saying before, there's a lot of employers are finding it hard to find people. So it may be that if you've got those extra skills that you can help cover in other areas, and it still can be a plus for you as well. So adding some variety to your job and something, almost like a little side gig that you're passionate about that you can do within work is a bit of a win-win situation. So definitely make sure you're showcasing all the talents that you have. All right, so let's go through to our social media poll, the results from that from last week. So we asked, would you be willing to relocate for a new job or career opportunity in 2022? And especially given the rise of Omicron and uncertainties there. So quite surprising, we had by far the majority, so 62% said, yes, I need a change right now. So it's still weighing up whether or not that great resignation will come through. But from the looks of this poll, there's still that eagerness to move and to go to a new opportunity. So interesting to see there. Let's see what the poll is for this week. Okay, so with the, I guess the increase of a so-called hybrid model, so where you're working part of the week in the office and part of the week working from home, we're asking, with hybrid working now considered to be the norm, which workstation do you prefer? Your work from home setup or your office setup? So, for a lot of us, we've been doing the work from home thing for a couple of years now. So you might have pimped out your home office, and that might actually be better than your office in the business. So it'd be good to see what the results are from that one. And if you've got a spectacular setup, make sure that you put that in the comments or share some pics of those so we can get some good ideas as well. Well, that is it for today. We'll be back, of course, next Friday at 12:30. Thanks for listening, and ka kite anō.